What's up, Rodders? You know who it is, your boy Savage, aka the Sevlo. You tuning in to Sevlo Tales. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Let's get to the politics. Salute to all the tribes out there, man. So, this video is coming from the comment section also. Big shout out to Yuckmouth King. He asked me, what do I think about New York gangbanging and how do I feel about that? First and foremost, how I feel about it, New York got some riders. There's some riders out there, man. You know, they said trans, and you know, they said trans for music. You know, everybody that I ever interacted with from New York, I have some cool homies. You know what I'm saying? One of my close homies recently was from NYC, and he was a straight rider. He didn't gangbang or nothing. So back in the day, though, New York set the trends for their own little hustler cliques, and you know, they did their own little things. They had their own cliques out there, and I can remember, like, growing up, a lot of New York atmosphere didn't really agree with the Bloods and Crips situation, and they looked down upon it. You know what I'm saying? Because they automatically was like, that's that West Coast. That's what they do on the West Coast, and it was not really big, you know. And I think honestly, the NYC culture, it was tight when it had its own identity and they rocked their own situations. But recently, you know, they've really picked up the Bloods and Crips issue, and they're out there pushing it. Now, the thing is, I got a couple homies that came out here from the NYC that were Crips, Playboy fools from out there, and I could tell you like this, and I'm no disrespect to anybody, the Crips and Bloods that say they're Crips and Bloods in New York, they bang totally different than the West Coast. You know, I don't think they rock the culture and really are about the roots and the knowledge of where the gang culture comes from, like the West Coast. Even like out here in my city, just being more on the West Coast, like the West, it's more of a history thing, and it's more of like, we study our roots, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of foods that I grew up with and a lot of foods that I've been around, they push the protocol that, you know, foods from the land push, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I find it outside of the West Coast, like any parts of the West Coast, they kind of push their own rules and regulations when it comes to the gang culture, and they mix it up. And like, you know, the stars and 5 stars and 6 stars and linking up with these fools and lock it, like that's not the essence of that's not the essence of how fools get down in the West Coast. Like, we don't bang stars and diamonds and hearts like that. So, you know, they made their own wave. And, you know, you hear the stories about like the 9 Trey fools, their OG, I guess he was a snitch or something. And, you know, the thing about him is he studied the Crip culture from the West Coast, Cody Munster's book, the 8 Trey fools. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of piggybacked off of him. So it's kind of just, you know, weird. I'm not saying there ain't no riders, but I think the difference is it's more serious on the West Coast, where fools, this is their real life. This is a lifestyle. I think in the East Coast, it's just something they picked up, and it's a fad. You know what I'm saying? A wave that they like riding. You know, so like I said, to each its own. I met some riders from New York. You know, from you know, the Crips and the Damus. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was this fool that was locked up out here when I was locked up, and you could tell he was a rider. He was activated. He was a little blood fool, and he didn't really mess with too many fools out here in the penitentiary system. Yeah, they acknowledged him because he was a blood, but you know, he was on that 5-star thing, that 5-star point, the 5 points, and you know what I'm saying? He was on that. And a lot of hoods out here are gonna bang blocks, and you know what I'm saying, bang hoods that, you know, were rooted. And he was not really tied in with them fools. And I remember he got into it with some of the Lokes, and they gave him the fair one and gave him the fade up. And he handled his business. I'm not even gonna lie. He actually knocked out one of the OG Crip fools. And yeah, he knew he was behind enemy lines, and the Crips didn't pack him out or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's some riders, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just think they're not into the history aspect, and they don't follow the protocol aspect. Because, you know, I find too, man, I seen it a lot outside of the West Coast going more towards the West. Some fools will do their own way. Like I seen in other states, like some Texas. In Texas, I seen Hoovers and 60s row together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that will never go down in the aspect of the West, bro, because that's their mutual enemies. Like, it just don't go down like that. Or trying to, you know what I'm saying, lock in different hoods that in the West beef. The only way I think you really authentically politicking is if you ride in for the essence of what it started for, your neighborhoods, and you're pushing the same lines with the same enemies. You're holding that standard, you know. But outside of that, man, it's, you know, it's a different kind of look, and you know, you start second guessing it. But that's my view. I'm not in New York. I just know I ran across some of them fools, and they push a different line, you know what I'm saying, than fools in the West. So that's what it is, man. Your boy Savage, Mile High salute. Let's get it.